Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk today about Tesla, of course, and we need to get into the potential crazy world that we could see if Elon Musk's pay package does not get approved or if the judge denies it in any way, shape, or form, and Elon Musk is denied that extra 7-8% of Tesla stock that he should be getting granted in his options. So let's get into it. This is what I'm calling Elon Musk's Hail Mary to save Tesla. Now, this is what could happen. Tesla stock would drop to what, 140? Assuming the pay package doesn't go through, Tesla stock would probably drop to the 140 level, maybe even one. But at $140, Tesla stock is around 446 billion valuation. These are important numbers to remember, and we'll come back to that. The next thing that could happen is Elon will continue to push the idea that he will take AI away from Tesla, and this will continue to suppress Tesla stock. Now, why would Elon want to continue to suppress Tesla stock? Because he might want to buy some shares. So, how would he buy some shares? Oh, well, SpaceX would have to IPO so he could get some liquidity. So, SpaceX has floated the idea of IPOing at a 200 billion valuation. Now, Elon Musk has clapped back against this by saying that it's not to raise more money because the business is profitable as is, but rather to provide liquidity for current owners. So pretty much they would IPO at 200 billion, not asking for more money from the market, but rather making an offer to the public for the public to be able to buy shares. Why would they need to do that? Because they already have plenty of quote unquote liquidity in the private market. There's already enough buyers willing to buy current employees' shares. The only reason they would want to do this is if they have a really big shareholder with a lot of money that wanted to gain some liquidity, because then there might not be enough liquidity. But if you're just a regular SpaceX employee with 100,000, 200,000, $500,000 of SpaceX stock that you're trying to offload, there's liquidity for you. But if you own 42% of the stock, maybe not. And there's one guy that owns 42%. Take a wild guess. Now, if you don't believe me that SpaceX is IPOing, here's a little clip. We can watch 2 seconds of this.
Say SpaceX has initiated discussions about selling existing shares at a price that could value the privately owned company at $200 billion. For more, let's bring in Bloomberg anchor Kriti Gupta with the details. Kriti, walk us through the numbers then on SpaceX.
It is all about this valuation, $200 billion. It's not really chump change there, but it is a marked difference from the $180 billion valuation just 6 months ago. Now, look, Elon Musk, SpaceX, they do these tender offers every 6 months or so, as they're calling it, liquidity rounds for investors, for employees as well, because that's really how you get some of these shares of SpaceX to begin with. You have to be an employee. It's your easiest way in. But Elon Musk coming out saying, look, this is not a capital raise at all. But what it does show is this is becoming a company that's getting only bigger and bigger, as shown by these liquidity rounds.
Well, they're just able to do things that other companies aren't able.
So right there, Elon didn't deny it. So this is true. They are floating the idea. But he's saying it's not to get more money from the market, if that makes any sense. It's to provide liquidity for employees. Well, guess what? Who's one of the biggest employees? Who is the biggest employee? Himself. So he's not denying it. So now we got to get into the numbers. So I asked my little AI, give me the numbers on Elon Musk and his ownership of SpaceX. So Elon Musk is the founder, largest shareholder of SpaceX, owning 42% of equity and 79% of the voting control. This is a very important point in this whole thesis. Then you have Peter Thiel at 10%, and you have Fidelity 10%, Google 7%. So it's a pretty concentrated holding of all of SpaceX. But Elon would want to keep the majority voting control. Okay, it doesn't matter how much shares you own. All that really matters, and we're seeing that now, is your voting control of the company. So Elon has 79% of voting control, which means that he has wiggle room to sell equity, but maintain over 51% voting control of the company. So we get to this next point, which is 42% equals 84 billion. So 42% of SpaceX at 200 billion valuation, he has about 84 billion in value in Elon Musk's net worth coming from SpaceX. So that leaves him room to sell 28% of SpaceX. Okay, not 28% of the 42, but 28% of SpaceX total, and still have the majority voting control. So he could sell 28%, right? So dropping his 42 to whatever that math is, and he would still maintain over that 51% voting control, because remember, his voting control is at 79%. So now we jump back to Tesla. Currently, Elon owns 13% of Tesla. His pay package would bring him to 20.5%. So with all those options that the judge is saying he's not allowed to get, it would bring him to 20.5 if he was granted that pay package. But let's say he's not granted that pay package, then he's stuck at this 13% ownership. And he said publicly that he wants to get to 25% voting control because he feels that that's like a good number where he would have enough control but not too much control of AI and all that. So now, sorry, I wrote $28. I meant 28%. 28% of SpaceX, right? Percent of SpaceX at a $200 billion valuation is $56 billion. So after taxes, assuming he doesn't take a loan to pay those taxes, so really he could just keep the $56 billion. But let's say he pays the taxes too. He also pays the taxes on his $56 billion that he pulls out. He would be left with $33 billion in his pocket. All right. $33 billion at Tesla valuation under 140 a share. So at 446 billion valuation could buy 7% of Tesla, bringing Elon to that 20% ownership. So in this reality, he would have 20% of Tesla ownership and 51% of SpaceX voting control. This is what is going on in Elon's mind. I'm telling you, this is what he's thinking about. He's not going to say it because he wants Tesla stock down. Okay? This is just my opinion. This is not, this is just my opinion. Freedom of speech, my opinion. I'm not trying to push any FUD out there or anything, but this is just a thought. This is a potential reality that could play out, and this is how it could play out. I mean, would you want your stock shooting up higher if you came out and said, yeah, I'm thinking about selling my SpaceX and buying back my Tesla? Well, then Tesla stock's going to go up, and then this plan doesn't work. This plan only works if he's able to buy that 33 billion of Tesla at this low valuation of 140 a share. Okay, that 446 billion market cap. Now think, if Tesla even goes lower, if Tesla goes to 100 a share, then this drops by like another 25%, 30% almost. So you're going to be at like 300. He'll be able to buy like 10%, 12% more of Tesla then. So he would be able to get really close to that 25% ownership. And then really to get back to that, to get to actual 25%, Tesla could start buying back shares as, the robotaxi stuff starts taking off and they start printing money. Tesla could buy back shares and that will increase Elon's ownership back up to 25% as well. But that's what I think is Elon's Hail Mary. This is the Hail Mary play to save Tesla and save the world, save AI from taking over the world, all that. So there's a reality where this scenario plays out and Elon uses SpaceX money to buy back Tesla stock. That's what I got for you guys. Let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Am I a genius? Am I right? Am I wrong? I'm usually right about stuff, but this is a Hail Mary idea in itself. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Elon Musk has done crazier stuff. He sold half of his Tesla position, nearly half his Tesla position, just to buy a social media company. So think about that. If he did that, you think he wouldn't do this? Come on, And then, the argument of, but what about XAI? He's got XAI. I think XAI is just a psyop in a sense, but it's also a potential backup. But right now it's a psyop more than it is a potential backup. Why is it a psyop? It's a psyop because it's trying to force the Tesla shareholders into paying Elon. One, because Elon's showing that, hey, I'm serious about taking AI away from you guys, so vote for my shares. But two, it's showing that Elon, it's helping depress the stock because it's putting that FUD into the market. So in the scenario that the pay package doesn't get approved, Tesla stock's going to go down, and that helps in this whole thesis. So it's a double psyop onto the Tesla shareholders and this whole situation. And thirdly, it might actually be a potential way for Elon to keep AI out of Teslas. He has XAI going, and that fuels the AI aspect of Tesla's whole business and humanoid bots and all that. So Elon is a genius. He's playing like 6 games of chess right now with this whole situation. He has options. So my name's John, and I got options. And that's what I got for you guys. Stay healthy, stay wealthy. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.